Alright, hello all, and more Arch Linux torture for you. This time it's going to be Virtualbox and Compiz Standalone. And just a few things you might want to try out in a virtual machine and maybe move it over to your main system. So I don't have anything installed except for Arch Linux here. And the desktop you're seeing in the background is Arch Linux with the Cinnamon desktop environment, in case you're wondering. So I'm just going to list out what I have, ls-la, and there's not much, just a basic bash rc file. And for that, I modified the pacman commands to be, instead of sudo pacman -S, it'll just be pac. So I usually like to have a fallback, so the simplest fallback would be openbox. And so I'm going to grab that and a few other things. So first of all, you can make a directory for openbox. So I'll zoom in here, and it's not cp, sorry, it's mkdir -p for the path .config. You see I don't have a .config folder here, and then a /open box. All right, and then pack openbox. And just answer yes, and let that download and install. And it says at the bottom here, Python 2.2-xtg, that's for auto start programs. I'm going to grab that. So pack Python 2-xtg. Okay, now we don't have any editing tools on hand. So I'm going to get LeafPad, a basic text editor. I'm going to get a basic file manager, PCman, FM, and XFCE4 terminal. FM, and I think I'm going to get GVFS, and on top of that, LeafPad, XFCE4-terminal. So as you can see in the download list, quite a few dependencies downloaded, mixture of XFCE and GNOME. And if we press the shift and page up, you can see some of the stuff that's been installed and some suggestions such as GNOME theme standard and so on. Okay, so we're ready to start openbox. A couple more things. I'm going to clear the screen now, and I'll zoom in again. And we're just going to copy -r .etc xdg /openbox to our .config /openbox. Correct that there. It's openbox and then asterisk. Now we should be able to ls that out, and then we have openbox environment XML, the menu, RC menu, the menu itself, and openbox. And we're just going to, you can download with a window manager. I'm just going to copy etc x11 xinit init directory, and then xinit rc to .xinit rc, and then we'll just nano .xinit rc and page down to where it has twm right here, and we'll just put in exec openbox -session, and Control O to write out and Control X to quit, and hopefully we can start X. If I did that right, yes we are. Okay, so we're in openbox. If you've used openbox before, it's very, very minimal, obviously, and just a right-click menu. Alright, so now the fun part, we're going to grab Compiz, and it's going to be the 0.9 series. It doesn't have as much as the 0.8, but I find it more stable in the long run, and it's fairly comprehensive. There's lots of stuff you can play around with in there. So I'm going to use yowart for that, for the Arch Linux user repository. So yowart -S Compiz. Oh, before I do that, sorry, I usually modify the Makefile to make things a little quicker. So it'll be sudo, we can use LeafPad, I guess, Etsy make.conf, and it'll zoom back out again, of course. It might be easier to do this in the outside of the GUI, outside of OpenBox, but in any case, you see here it says make flags. It's commented out. Okay. I usually uncomment that, so press delete there, and then where it says -J7, I'm going to put -J2. I'm going to put a 7 there. That's because I have 6 cores, and I allocated the virtual machine 6 cores. If you have 4, you just add 1, so it'll be -J5. If you have 2, it'll be -J3, and so on. And under the build environment, I'm going to uncomment the build directory and just leave it as the default. And if you scroll down near the bottom, the XZ compression, newer builds of Arch Linux have this built-in XZ compression, and that's going to do -T and 6 for the 6 cores. And I'll save and quit. So that should, depending on what you have for a machine, how many cores and the memory, I gave this 4 gigs of memory. It should help building packages such as Compiz a little faster. So let's do that command again. Yowart-S Compiz, and press enter. And remember, this is Compiz 09, so 0.9, sorry. And edit package no, and edit and install no, and continue building. And this will take a while, so I'll be back when this is finished. Okay, after it's done, the package manager suggests to get this xorg-xprop, so that's through Pacman, so xorg-xprop. As you see, it's for grab various window properties for use in window matching rules. It's a good idea to get that anyway, so it's not very big. Okay, now to launch a standalone session, I think it's a lot easier if you install a login manager, window manager. And I always use LXDM because it's very, very straightforward and simple to use and configure. So that, again, through Pacman, LXDM. You see it's very small. And you can follow the suggestions, GTK engines, and so on if you wish. Or you can build those later. So we'll just sudo system systemctl enable lxdm.service. And next we want to build an X profile, which just involves a simple command. Okay, so this is on the Arch Linux documentation under X profile. You just make a bin-sh file, and you just copy and paste what it has in there, and you just make it executable. So we'll close this down, and we'll open a terminal. So make sure that's chmod +x, and then just run sudo /my display, and that's it. It won't give you any feedback. And now we can create an X profile. So leafpad it'll be blank, by the way, X profile. And in this file, you just write like what you want to have it start up. Say PCMan to handle the desktop, for example. So PCMan FM, 2 dashes, desktop, and an ampersand. And for a panel, you can use anything, tint2, docking, but I'm really familiar with XFCE4 panel. So again, through Pacman, you just grab that and a couple of dependencies, and it's ready to go for you. So we can go back to our X profile and just add that in. Now we can run that now. So XFCE4-panel, and put an ampersand there as well. It's going to ask if you want a default or one empty. I'm just going to use one empty, and I'll just bring it down here for now. All right, moving on. You can LXDM. Most window login managers will find will read from the directory slash USR share X sessions. So we can change that directory or just leaf pad that same directory, the path, X sessions openbox dot desktop. So we can use that as a template, and I'll get out of here first of all. I'll put an ampersand there so we can edit something else. So here we go for the template, and just press enter here, and we'll just make a new file. You can call it anything. I'm just going to call it compiz.desktop, and we have to make sure that's sudo on that because we want to write to that, and for that too is fine. So I'll just Control A, Control C, and then Control V. And we can close this guy out. And the name is going to be Compiz, of course, and it's very, very simple. Exec exact equals USR / bin, and it's just going to be Compiz. And the same thing in the try exec icons. We don't really need that, just leave it blank. Log in using Compiz if you want, just a comment, and save, and that looks pretty good, and quit. Press enter, and we're done for that. Alright, let's make sure our Compiz is going to be set for us. Some settings, a couple of things you can use. Most of the stuff in the 09 series is already pre-done for you, like the decoration and stuff, so you don't have to worry too much. So just CC/SM and ampersand if you wish. There it is. And commands are going to enable those, and just in case, I'm going to write xfce4-terminal and go to keybind. I'll zoom in here. Make sure it's command line. Keybind under disabled. Make sure it's enabled. Grab a key combination. Control-Alt-T. Press OK. And if we want to run our PCman FM, anything you want, enable key combination. Control-H is fine. And leaf pad. Hopefully we can get away with most of these. Enable Control N for notes or something. So window management, as you can see, move window, place window, resize window. Make sure dbus is not checked. I've had a lot of problems. You can enable JPEG, PNG, SVG for your icons and stuff. And the window decorator is just going to be the GTK one for now. So we should be good to go for that. So let's do our reboot and see what happens. So sudo reboot. So here we are at the LXDM login manager. On our desktop at the bottom here, the file just made is Compiz. And just click on your username and we'll see what happens if I haven't forgotten anything. There we go, it's working. Now we don't have any right click or anything like that for some reason. So let me see, our terminal works, but it's really, really jittery right now. But it is working. So let's go back to terminal. And let's enable enhanced desktop zoom. It's going to ask for mouse polling. So turn that on. And enhanced desktop zoom. I'm going to make that shift button 4 and shift button 5, and it's enabled, so it's working. So we know Compiz is working. Okay, so I'm going to drop into another terminal because, like I said, it's really awkward right now to use any kind of commands through XFCE4 terminal or any terminal. So in Virtualbox is Control and F2, and just log in as your user is fine. And we're going to get OB logout, OB log out, once that's installed, I'm going to clear screen, and it's going to sudo nano oblogout.conf, and I'm going to take out some things I don't use. I don't use suspend or hibernate or lock. And we'll go down to right down to where it says openbox logout equals openbox exit. That's not going to work because we're using Compiz. pkill dash, and in all capital letters KILL, another space dash U, and $ capital letters user, and control right out and control to exit. And to go back to our session, control F1 and Compiz settings and commands OB logout for command 3, and the binding will be whatever you want. I'm just going to make it Alt L for logout. Press OK. Hopefully this will work. There it is. So I just left the icon set as manual. As default, the oxygen set. So logout should work. And there we go. It's working. Apologies for the PC Man. I put Pac-Man, so that's why I wasn't running. PC Man FM -- desktop and the ampersand. And speaking of PC Man FM, under preferences, which is edit preferences, advanced, your terminal emulator, whatever you want, and just type that in, close, and should be able to, inside PC Man FM, press F4, and it opens the terminal for you. Okay, so for appearances, I'm going to get the Arch Linux wallpaper, LX appearance, and the Faenza icon theme from Pac-Man. And the icon theme will take a little while to build. And if you want to have these buttons here, the buttons have minimize, maximize, and close. We have to get the Decomp Editor from Pac-Man. So sudo Pac-Man, capital S, Decomp -editor. Hopefully, yep, okay. And that's it. So I'm going to quit the terminal for now. Another thing you can hunt down is under LX appearance in applications, USR share applications. This file here. Copy and paste that in. And if you scroll down, page down, it says not show in these environments. So just put a hash sign, comment that out, basically. Save and quit. And hopefully we'll see something. So from our app settings menu, customize, we don't have any themes except for that. Apply if you want. Pretty bland looking there. Icon theme, we did install the Faenza, so we can apply those. And let's open our file manager. There it is. The icon set's looking a little better. If you go to System Tools, Decomp Editor, go to Org, GNOME, Desktop, down to WM, Window Manager, Preferences, where it has a menu layout, button layout. It has this here as a hint, menu. So I'm just going to take that, and I have to hold down the Shift key and arrow and Control C. Hopefully I can copy and paste that in. Yeah, and I'm going to remove the spacer. Okay, now we have minimize, maximize, close, and if you wish to have the button menu there. So for example, you can grab the new mix themes from Pac-Man. It's fairly straightforward to install. You can look around for others if you wish. And go back to our Decomp Editor. And that same drill. It says has theme here. Double click that and type in new mix. Press enter. And there was another setting under Metacity. Do the same thing just in case. Okay, so moving along, I installed DocBar X from YowArts, and you can pin your applications when they're open, or unpin, and various other settings. And to start that up, at startup, it's just docx, not DocBar X, just docx. and it should run when you log into your Compiz Standalone desktop. So you can right click on the bar and go to properties and different dock bar, just basic outputs. You can add, say, the name bar and just hit the arrow over, or spacer, that too, and the name bar, and just drag the name bar up above the spacer and hit this button here, refresh. So let's open PCman FM, maximize, and right now it's not, it will integrate into the menu. However, you have to, there's a setting in Compiz, so these, when they're maximized, you won't see this extra close. You'll see just the top panel, the top part in Dock Bar X. So that setting is under the Compiz window decorator, and where it has decoration windows, you put this in command exclamation state equals max vert, M-A-X-V-E-R-T, and close. And I'm not sure we have to log out, but there we go. Now it's maximized, you can see, but there's no close buttons here. Now you can unmaximize and you get your menu buttons back, and that should work for most applications. Another thing you can try is Slings Cold. It's like a menu. That's through the Arch Linux user repository. It's quite a few dependencies. It takes a bit of time to build, but it does work. And I assigned the keyboard shortcut in Compiz to control and space. It's not going to look as great in Virtualbox because the scaling's off, but that's basically the menu that you would have. So you can search for Compiz, and here's the command here. It's called Slings Cold, and the key binding was control space. And I also messed around with other key bindings and the workspaces. So Control, Alt, and Z will be to move next window. So I have two workspaces. It'll just go back and forth. Control, Alt, A will be an expo view, so you can go back and forth between the two. So I enabled desk wall here, and the key bindings move within a wall. There's the move next one, Control Z, and under edge flipping, I untick all of these if any of them are enabled. And under Expo, the same thing, same idea. I disable the corner edge so it won't kick in, and the button, Control Alt and A. And you can also get another utility through Pacman Xdo tool. I already have that, so Xdo tool key CTRL plus ALT plus Z, and if I press that, it'll move to the other window, other workspace, sorry. And same thing with the Control A. So what you can do with that is access CE4 panel, make a new launcher, type this in as the command, assign it an icon, and you can have like click to change workspaces and click to change the Expo view. So you can drag and drop windows in between. So it's a very simplistic example. Workspace Changer to go next, and the Expo key. And properties of that are very simple, so edit and resize this. You can call it anything you want, workspace. I used a symbolic icon or whatever it was. You can get way more fancier than this. And to change workspace, as I mentioned, is Xdo tool, so that's the command, key, Control Alt plus Z, and then save and close. And you'll have those commands. So you do the same thing with Expo as well. Alright, so I think I'll wrap this up, and I imagine you get the idea. I added another one to show desktop, which is Control Alt D, So basically it minimizes all windows that you might have, and you can tell Compiz to fade down and just different effects, whatever you like. Okay, so one more thing I should mention, this time thing here. I installed the NTP daemon and as well as Network Manager, and it's so it will sync the time on startup. But here is the you have to check custom clock, and I'll make this as large as I can. All right. By default, it's just %H for 12 hours. So I put %I, and in minutes and seconds, the year in capital letter. You can put a space, A, and for what is that? The day, and those are small a, and small b for the actual day, month. Sorry. So we'll read like so up here, and that should pretty much wrap up most of this. Like I said, there's lots of things you can do, other programs you can install, and it'll probably behave better on your own system. However, keep in mind it's got to be, if it's standalone, that's what it means, and anything you add to that X profile is going to be starting up if you have another desktop environment, it'll look really strange. So if you're going to use this, make sure that's basically all it is that's on here. Okay, so thanks so much for watching, and I hope you found this useful, and please feel free to add comments, and we'll talk to you soon, and bye for now.